Ladies and gentlemen, Highguard is finally here. Did you take PTO? Did you skip school for Highguard Day? This is a game with one of the weirdest marketing schemes we've ever seen. After being shown off as the very final trailer of the Game Awards, the team went radio silent until the day before release, just to confirm that it's coming out. There's been a ton of talk surrounding this game, but the question is it actually good? I'm here to tell you fellas, the game is okay. It's 3v3, so if you have 3 homies to play with, it's not that bad. It's just very generic. The game's not super deep. I played it for like 3 hours with 2 of my friends, and I feel like we experienced everything the game has to offer in that amount of time. It's painfully obvious that the game is free to play, which is not inherently a bad thing, but there are a lot of things missing on launch that I feel like a premium game would just have. They only have one playable game mode, and then a ranked mode that says it's coming soon, so who knows when that will come out. As you all probably know, Jeff Keighley said at the Game Awards that this game will usher in a new breed of shooters, and I think what he meant by that was the game mode mechanics. I don't at all agree that this will change the game of first-person shooters. The game mode is unique in that it's a mashup of different types of games all thrown into one, like all different types of games you've probably played before. Basically, you start the match with a prep phase, where you fortify your team's base, kind of like Rainbow Six, so you reinforce walls, and that's kind of it. Once the prep phase is over, you're then able to leave your base and enter what I can describe as a farming phase. You look for loot chests to get gear, and you mine these crystal things that are used as currency to buy the same gear you're finding in chests, but at shops scattered throughout the map. I feel like the chests are kind of redundant because you can just use the shop to purchase exactly what you want, rather than trying to get lucky with a chest. And just to clarify, the gear is in a tier system, like white is the shit tier, all the way up to red, which is god tier. Overall, pretty much every player in the lobby will end this phase with the same category of loot, so nobody really has an advantage over one another. The only time there is a really big advantage is if you pick up the red weapon, because I think there's only one red weapon spawn per match. I may be wrong because I only played 3 matches to be honest, but I don't know. I've only seen one every match so far. Once the prep phase is over, there's then a fight to pick up this thing called the shield breaker that you take to your opponent's base to split open their shield to kick off a raid. When you pick up the shield breaker, you're visible to everyone in the lobby as an icon on the minimap, and you also have a huge dome around your player so everyone knows where you are. This feature I actually do like, just so you can't camp with the shield breaker and try to cheese. If no one actually successfully plants the shield breaker on the opponent's base before the time runs out, you enter this overtime mode where respawns are turned off. If you wipe the enemy team, you auto start your raid.
Got one.
Left over there?
Yeah.
One? Got both.
Okay.
Let's go.
Alright, baby. Raid starting.
You can also still plant the shield breaker during this time, but in my games, it always ended in just trying to take out the enemy team instead. Okay, you finally busted the shield with the shield breaker. Now the raid commences. This phase is kind of like demolition from Call of Duty. There's 3 bomb sites that you can plant at, and one of them is the base core, which if you blow up that, you automatically win. Otherwise, your bombs do like 30 damage or something. Each base starts with 100 HP. The attacking team gets like 5 respawns, and if they didn't get the base down to 0 HP by the time they're out of lives, the game goes back to the prep phase and you start all over again. When this happens though, each base has the health that they left off with at the end of the raid, so if it's the first raid and your base has 100 HP and you deal 50 damage HP to the enemy's base, the next phase, the enemy base will have 50 HP and yours will still have 100, so you kind of have a little bit of an advantage there. So yeah, the game basically just loops through these 3 phases of game mode types and you just go until one base has 0 HP. I think the premise of this sounds pretty cool in theory, but the maps are just really big for 3v3 and there's a lot of downtime. When you're fighting it out, the game is fun for sure, but those moments are really rare. The gunplay feels really good, and the weapons do generally feel unique from one another. Coming from the Apex and Titanfall devs, I think this is kind of expected, you know? But yeah, they definitely know how to make gunplay feel like a good time, but unfortunately, a majority of the time, you're just roaming around in silence. If it was 6v6 or even 5v5, I think it would be a lot more lively. Overall, I can only really recommend this game if you have some friends who want to check it out. Solo queuing sounds miserable, honestly, in my opinion, and there's just not enough to do to play it for a long time. I don't think this game will take you away from whatever game you're currently playing. It just feels like any other game, and it looks pretty uninspired from a stylistic stance. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying, but it's not a new breed of shooter, that's for sure, at least not in its current state. Anyways, if you've had the nuts to try out Highguard, please let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. I'm curious to hear different perspectives from real people and not just people shitposting. And if you found any of this insightful or helpful, please drop a like and consider subscribing if you're into gaming content. Subscribing would really help me out a lot, and it motivates me to make more content, as unfortunately I have a real job that takes up most of my time. And as always, take it easy, homie.
Problem? Oh, it's done.
Oh,
Dude,
good.
good.
Alright.
Okay, no.